label.
No, just so you knew what you were drinking, that's all. So, because it's called Pucker New Life.
Feel new.
Feel new, that's it. Feel new, sorry.
Never heard of it.
So I thought that would all be part of your training regime. You know, you're getting fitter and you're doing your stretching and stuff. So are you going to enjoy that?
Aniseed, fennel and cardamom.
There you go, you can't go wrong really, can you?
That's normally, don't you put those in curry?
No, well I thought, look, the training program started for the Masters next year, yeah? So, you know, maybe we could move up from that 10 millionth position up to maybe, I don't know, a million or something.
We'll see, yeah.
So I'm not sure if that would quite get you in even so, but anyway, I mean, do you appreciate it?
Yeah, thank you very much actually. And on that note, I actually got you.
Oh really?
Something. Yeah, well,
really?
there wasn't much in the crisp cupboard.
No, what?
In the crisp cupboard.
The crisp cupboard.
The crisp cupboard.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did find one bag left.
Okay, good. Well, there's been a lot of viewing to be done during lockdown, isn't there? Let's be honest about it.
That's true. So I got you some of these Doritos Cool Originals.
That's going to help me with my bulking up.
That's
perfect. I mean, can I open those now?
Yeah, you can open those.
I'll have one if you don't mind.
Yeah, fine.
So, thank you very much. Would you like one?
No, I'm not.
No, you can stick with the fennel, eh?
No, you'll polish that bag off in no time, I'm sure. So.
Very nice. What flavour?
Cool Original.
Oh, Cool Original. My favourite. Thank you very much. Could do with some hummus to go with it. If you did not, later on, you could make some fresh one. That would be really good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk about golf or what?
Yeah, let's talk about golf.
So, look, give me a rundown. What's your thinking so far? I mean, so far, 3 rounds. I mean, can you give me a kind of broad view on the last 3 rounds? I mean, what's been happening? You know, how the course has been playing, how the players have been, shaping up to a much wetter golf course than we're normally used to seeing at the Masters.
Yeah.
And autumn. So, I mean, what's your overview?
It hasn't really felt like a November Masters, really.
And have you missed the kind of get in the hole?
I haven't missed the get in the hole, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't. In fairness, at the Masters, it's pretty controlled. But
it is, they're very good.
The patrons were a little bit more understanding of the game. But no, I totally agree with you. Seeing the golf course without spectators and stands and even the kind of noise in a way, it's a much more kind of serene experience.
Yeah, it is.
I kind of feel like it's almost like a Sunday afternoon out with your mates.
Yeah.
Maybe the club championship or something. There's a few people there, but no, I wonder how that's affected the standings at the moment. We've got so many players in the top 10 who I think about 5 who are not really household names. Let's say. They're all very good players, no doubts about that. But they're not the kind of upper echelon. Of course, we've got JT and we've got DJ leading, and Rory's down there in 10th. But we've got players like Answer and Im and Smith and Fratelli. Not really, maybe they wouldn't be your first betting choice. I mean, did you have any of those? Were you gambling on any of those?
Actually, I did have Cameron Smith.
You did?
Yeah, well, he has had, I think he's in his 4th Masters now, and he's had a top 10 in there.
Okay.
So he's had some track record, but the others, Answer, Fratelli, Im. I mean, Im's only 22. I mean, amazing. He's so young, and to be playing that well on your debut at the Masters is pretty much unheard of.
That's his debut, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, I mean, it's certainly for Answer, I know it's definitely his debut.
Yeah.
Young Mexican player. Young, he's 29. I hear he wants to be a Formula 1 driver if he doesn't become successful as a tour pro. Maybe he's leaving that a bit late. But
I think he's fine with the golf, to be honest.
I think he is, but he's certainly got the looks. There's no doubt about that.
That's true. That's very true. And yeah, they've been playing great. But you've got to think that not having the crowds there has something to do with the fact they're playing so well, because without them there, it does feel like it's a very therapeutic experience watching it, to be honest, because you're just hearing the shot, you're just seeing it land, you're seeing them hold a few putts, but there's still a lot of nerves there, and you'll see them today more than any other day.
I mean, when you talk about therapeutic, I mean, you use a lot of words like that, don't you? I mean, that's why I brought you the tea, obviously. But these 3-syllable words, fantastic. I do love it. But therapeutic. You're doing your stretching, you're doing your yoga.
Yeah.
All this stuff. I mean,
well.
even when you're watching the Masters now, you're in the cross-leg position and what's it called, lotus or something.
Yeah. No, normally I go on tree pose. I normally do one leg, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I see you are also doing your bulking as I'm
doing my bulking because the thing is, during lockdown, what's important is not to rest on your laurels.
Yeah,
I always
that's
think.
true.
Yeah. So basically, lockdown is a period which you can use really proactively. Yeah. And the thing is, I want you to learn from this. You're a young man. You're developing. Yeah. And you can see the physique that I've developed is as our friend Bryson is now showing, is pretty much perfect for this game. And no wonder I've been hitting it, over 200 this year most of the time.
Yeah.
So, but no, going on to Bryson, seriously, I mean, it has been a bit of a disappointment for him. No question, he's set himself up, with this par 67 malarkey. I mean, what has he got to learn from this Masters? What's he going to take away from this?
I think he's already probably taken away a lot from this. I saw an interview with him yesterday, and he was really sad about what happened and was kind of unsure about what happened. But it just goes to show you in this game that most of the time, letting the clubs do the talking is the best thing you can do. And Bryson, I think, needs to learn that. And hopefully he's learned that this week. It's easy, though, when you're playing well, you're confident. You want to tell everyone you're great. You want to tell everyone you're playing well because you probably are playing well. But unfortunately, we've seen in the past with a few players, like Ian Poulter saying he's...
only 2 players there, basically, Woods and him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't become the number 2 in the world like he wanted to be.
No, he didn't, but still one of our heroes, though.
We love him.
We do love Ian. But, I mean, it's very interesting you should say that, though, because, you said let the clubs do the talking. Ben Hogan, that was actually his trademark saying, really, let the clubs do the talking. Hogan never really said very much, but played fantastic. Obviously, even I wasn't born, really, when he was at his best. But I think Dechambeau, one of his heroes is Hogan. I mean, he wears the flat white cap, almost like a bit of a throwback to Hogan. And I think, he's a great player. He's great for the game. I mean, all the talk about the 48-inch driver. And Fratelli saying, we heard yesterday, he's using a longer driver. Are we now going to see everybody going down to their pro shop and saying, I want a 48-inch driver? Is that the next thing?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, people are always looking at what the players are doing, what they're hitting, what clubs they're hitting, what they're putting with, everything, how they're learning the game. So 100% we're going to see people getting longer drivers. And also another question is, will they reduce the distance the golf ball is travelling, or the clubs can hit the ball?
I mean, it's so interesting. There's been so many debates over the last couple of decades, really. Trampoline effect, I remember, on the club face, whether titanium's going to be used on the club head. Now it's the length of the shaft, and of course the ball itself. So many things have been brought into question by the governing bodies, and yet they still haven't acted. I don't know. It's a really tricky one. I did a little vote actually on LinkedIn the other day and asked whether the ball should be reduced or should they put a limitation on how far it should go. And it's 50-50 so far, the results.
Well, you can't really take much from 5 votes, though, to be fair.
I mean, 6 actually.
Oh, 6.
I mean, please. It would be very difficult to have 50-50 on 5 votes, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, good comment. Nice for Lou to bring that up.
It's not very representative.
Well, 6 votes. 6 votes is more than your survey got. So, which is still to come, I hear.
Yeah.
So, right. Let's get back to the leaderboard.
Yeah, back to the leaderboard.
So we've got, should we discuss top 20 or top 10? Where are we going to start from?
I think we'll start top 10.
I think so, and we've got Tommy Fleetwood hanging on there. It's a bit of a disappointing day for the English golfers anyway yesterday.
Very.
I mean, very disappointed to see Justin drop out, but in fairness, his form of late has not been great. Lee's kind of faded away really from round 1 really. So I mean, good round 1, but after that it's gone down a bit. Paul Casey again, great first round, and then has just faltered. But we've got Tommy, holding the flag as usual really. I mean, it's been such a good majors player over quite a few years now. Be great to see Tommy burst up to get a top 5 anyway. Maybe a top 3.
You could see it.
You can see it.
Yeah, definitely could see it. He's really good from coming from behind, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in with a 66, 67 today and block in that top 5. I mean, he's the only English hope, unfortunately, really.
He is. And then we've got a couple of players. Is it Munoz? Munoz. I've been practicing that all morning. So Munoz. Do you know much about him?
I actually don't know anything about him.
Well, I know he's Colombian.
Yeah, well, that's very good.
And he does swing it good.
He does swing it good?
Yeah.
Okay, well...
I have been watching.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've been watching.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, while you've been doing your Lotus, I've been actually eating my Doritos and watching carefully. All right.
Yeah,
so,
I know. Well, you don't do anything else.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so moving along. I mean, then we've got Patrick Reed. I mean, always a contender.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think Patrick's the type of guy. He knows Augusta obviously so well. I think he could shoot at 64 today, 65.
100%.
But even so, is that going to be enough?
Well, it's all in Dustin Johnson's hands now, isn't it? He has to falter, otherwise it's going to be all over pretty much. If he shoots a level par, it could be all over. But you just think with Dustin that I just can't see him losing it. When he plays badly, he seems to shoot under par. So it's just all depends on how he starts and how the others start. And if the others go low early, like JT, Justin Thomas goes low early, gets 4 under, like Dustin did, gets 4 under after 4, then suddenly doubt creeps into Dustin's mind, and who knows? We could see a 2-horse race. I think that's most likely Justin Thomas.
He's such a cool cat, isn't he? And of course, your big hope was John Rahm.
Yeah, my big hope was John Rahm, but he decided to hit a tree yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. He was playing so well, playing quite solid. Went behind the tree on the par 5, decided to clatter into a tree, straight into the bushes. Double bogey on a par 5, and that you just cannot do around Augusta. You've got to birdie the par 5s, and he didn't do that yesterday, and it took the wind out of his sails completely.
Absolutely. And what about JT? I mean, it kind of like you almost feel like he's going to get going, and then he's kind of gone back a bit. I mean, like he keeps making quite a few birdies, but then he makes a bogey or a double even, and then suddenly it takes the wind out of his sails. I mean, and then we've got our great enigma. But our favourite, really, I guess, is Rory. 2 great rounds following that 75.
Yeah. I
mean, so encouraging. Rory himself, I heard him speaking last night, and I'm not saying there was an air of resignation, but an air of disappointment, I think, that 75 pretty much took him out of it from day one.
Yeah.
But you've got to give the guy full credit for a gutsy comeback.
100%.
And what's he going to do today?
I think he'll go low again today. Unfortunately, yesterday, he actually had it going and then made a bogey on a par 5, 3-putting from about 8 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, down the hill.
I missed that. I was going to get my next bag of Doritos at that moment.
There's no surprise there, rummaging around in the cupboard.
Rummaging, that's right. Can you go to the supermarket actually later? Because just in case, because the thing is, I mean, you have a go at me, okay, about eating a few bags of Doritos, okay? But the first thing you've got to remember, as Tiger said, and a few players have said, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I mean, we've been watching for hours. I mean, this is not an easy thing to do. And you seem to think that, Louis seems to think that you can just sit there for 6 or 7 hours and just basically twiddle your thumbs. Well, I've got to think about my future game.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
With that in mind, a couple of bags of Doritos. I'm doing my grip springs as well, by the way.
Yeah,
you didn't mention that. So, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've got to say, you're setting a new standard for commitment to the programme.
Thank you.
It's incredible. It's 24/7.
Thank you. It is 24/7 and not always appreciated, I feel.
No.
If I'm brutally honest about it.
Well, we'll see at the end. We'll see
the outcome.
Yeah, we'll see the outcome.
Always focus on the outcome. That's what I say. So, okay, up to the top 4 or 5, okay?
Yeah.
Fratelli. What do you know about Fratelli?
Fratelli won the John Deere Classic, I think, last year, or maybe the year before. And I mean, he's a good player. He's a very good player, and he's good under pressure. When he gets in there with a chance, he normally plays well, and he normally makes the most of it. But
what's going on with the glasses?
I don't know what's going on with glasses. Really, quite unusual they are. But
they're clear, aren't they?
Yeah, they're clear, and then they've got white rims. So
has he got some kind of allergies situation going on?
They could be prescription, actually.
They could be.
Prescription.
Good thinking.
Good player.
But good player, nice guy as well, actually.
Really nice guy.
Really nice guy. We like Fratelli. And then, I think actually, you know what he did say, which I thought was really nice? He played with Fred Couples first couple of days. And he said he really learned a lot from Fred. And I mean, Fred's such a nice guy, isn't he, as well? And apparently, when he drove into the car park yesterday, Freddie was go for it, Dylan, so I thought that was really wonderful. I mean, actually, talking about the older players, I mean, quick throwback, but I mean, just give me your thoughts on Bernhard Langer, Mike Weir, both of those players. I mean, Bernhard Langer, 63, Mike Weir, 50, both 2 under par.
Yeah, I mean...
Same as Bryson, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you, especially around Augusta, and that's why Augusta in particular is so great, because you don't have to be a long hitter to play well there. It's so based on accuracy and staying patient and just keeping yourself in there in the correct place mentally. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see that players at that age can, well, I mean, Michael Weir not too old, but I mean, Langer is just incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
And so modest as well to say. I mean, the quote of the day, I think yesterday, was him saying he's fairly competitive in the Champions Tour.
Oh,
I mean, he's won pretty much
$30 million.
$30 million.
Yeah, fairly competitive.
Fairly
Yeah,
competitive.
amazing. Eh? And you know what? Just a little mention here, and I'm sure a lot of you have picked it up anyway, but for the Masters app, what an amazing app that is. The best golf app I've ever seen, I have to say. I watched every single shot, as well as watching all the other golf, by the way. I watched every single shot of Bernhard Langer's second round yesterday, which I found incredible, to watch every shot and watch him hit like fairway woods or rescues into par fours on a regular basis. I think at least 5 he could barely get up to, maybe couldn't get up to actually, on a par 4. I mean, like, couldn't get there. Now, on mainstream television, there's no way that would have been shown. But if you go on the app, literally right now, you can follow every player, every shot they've played in the round. It's quite unbelievable. I've never seen that before. And it's a great insight into the way a player who's probably averaging, I don't know, 260 off the tee, Bernhard Langer at the moment, something like that. And so a hole that's 505 yards par 4 in damp conditions, very difficult to get it up to the green virtually in 2 shots. I mean, you've got to hit 2 fantastic shots, hitting 3-wood into some of the par 4s. And it does show you the amazing difference between, like, Bryson, who's probably hitting it 120 yards further than Langer off the tee. Almost 2 different games, but for most amateurs, realistically, Langer represents a much more, somebody who is actually playing games much more similar to their own game. And, you know, I mean, for me personally, I have to say, I learned a lot from watching his mental composure, how good his short game is.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible. I mean, great ball striker as well. As in, he doesn't hit it far, but he is so solid. And he hardly misses a fairway. And if he misses a green, it's not by much. He can get it up and down, never short sides himself.
Great putter now as well.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you around Augusta as well. As Tiger would say, missing the right spots and you're kind of fine. But if you miss in the wrong places around Augusta, you've got no shot basically.
Yeah. What's that little label on your sleeve there? Oh, it's the T. There you go. He's got the T on it. That's nice, isn't it? It's nice to see. Maybe actually, can you put that on there? Maybe that's part of your sponsorship deal now. So, okay, so come on, we keep moving away from this top 4 or 5. So, Cameron Smith, what do you know about him?
Cameron Smith, Australian, I think 27, 4th Masters. Sure. He's had a top 10 before, but I don't think he's shown too much form coming into this. Normally he's been pretty solid. I think a couple of years ago maybe he got on a good run after the Masters as well.
Okay.
But I haven't seen him too much of late. But the thing is at Augusta is that the players that play well there normally play well again. So I'm not surprised to see him back up there doing well. But
so true, actually.
Could he win?
So true.
Could he win? I don't know. I mean,
it's a big ask.
It's a big ask.
Big ask.
He's young as well.
An answer. I mean, you know, I know he was kind of on and off the tour a little bit over the last 5 years. Played wed.com 2 or 3 years. I think he's been on the main PGA tour for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Has he had one win or no wins?
I don't think he's had any wins.
Okay.
But he played very well at the President's Cup a couple of years ago when Tiger was captain. Ernie Els was captain.
Actually, Tiger, wow, just took me back to that.
Oh, yeah, Tiger.
So, Tiger, we haven't discussed Tiger, how could we do that? So, basically, Tiger in 20th, 5 under par. No, obviously no chance of winning, but is he going to get a top 10?
I don't think so, unfortunately. He looks like he's struggling a bit with his back. Every time, normally the way you can tell with Tiger is that every time he gets the ball out the hole, he seems to get slower and slower.
And he certainly did that on 18 yesterday.
Yeah, and it's almost like you can see a grimace, but he doesn't want to say it and he doesn't want to show people that he's injured because the media go crazy about it. So that's completely fair enough. But unfortunately, when Tiger's injured, you can't see him shooting much better than 1 under or 1 or 2 under.
Full credit to Tiger for coming in, probably had problems before he arrived, and not saying a word, and playing. You know, it's still 5 under par.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just shows you how good he is. I have to say, the extraordinary thing about Tiger, from a personal point of view, from a coaching point of view. I feel that he's swinging it better than he's ever swung it. And you know, he's got that. He's not, obviously, because of his physical condition now, he can't. You're enjoying that, aren't you?
Horrible.
Thank you. But because of his back and other things, probably knees, etc., you know, he's kind of calmed down a little bit. And I just think when I watch him now, I enjoy watching him swing.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't thrash at it anymore.
No.
He's smooth.
And you've got the best brain out there.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got the best brain out there. And to be honest with you, if his back can hold up for 4 days, he could easily win again in the next few years. And I'd love to see him win again because
Yeah, we want to see Tiger win.
he's the ultimate tactician.
We want to see Tiger win. We want to see Rory win some more majors. That's the big, you know, that's the big kind of fingers crossed, isn't it? And okay, so last on the list, Im. What do we know about him?
Im, 22, South Korean, one of many kind of. You feel like there's a lot of South Koreans coming out. Siwoo Kim, Sang-Moon Bae in the past, I think, set the standard for South Korean players coming through. And you've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of South Korean
I
players
must say, I had a
coming
bet
through.
on Benny Arm, which was a mistake.
Oh yeah, Ben Arm,
missed
yeah,
the
of
cut
course.
by one,
But yeah, great player. Had
I mean,
a lot of top
again, a
tens.
big ask to win his first, you know, to win
Yeah.
his first major now.
Yeah.
As you say, I mean, it brings us right to the top. It all really just depends on what DJ does today. It's his to lose, really.
Yeah, it's his to lose. I think he's got it in the bag, to be honest. Experience, past major champion. He's already been second at the Masters. He said yesterday in an interview he knows what he needs to do, and I feel like he does know what he needs to do. He knows how he's gonna feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got it in the bag. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of things in the bag, but I'm looking forward to a nice evening of golf, or late afternoon, early evening of golf. And nice for the tournament to finish early, I have to say, not too late, not past my bedtime.
Yeah,
And that's good to know. And all I'm going to say to you guys is hope you enjoy a good watch tonight. And if we've got time, we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye bye.